Angel Snubnut Up 7 in the house. And of course, this is the Reality's Temple on Earth. I want to talk to the sisters. I want to talk to y'all. Give me a hug. Give me a hug, Terry. Give me a hug, sisters. Soul sisters, number one. Soul sisters, number one. In fact, women, and I don't know what it is according to YouTube statistics, women, and especially soul sisters or black women involved in interracial relationships, when I first came to YouTube, they were my biggest audience. When I first came to YouTube, I've never had a real relationship with men on YouTube. Maybe it's because of my position on womanhood. I want to talk to you ladies. I want to talk to the black woman. I want to talk to you soul sisters. I really need to get an understanding, because it's mind-boggling. I don't understand it. I don't understand why you or your gender, because it's not all black women, it's not all soul sisters. I'm trying to find out or figure out your thinking when it comes to some of these men. Okay, let me explain it. Let me kick it off. Let me kick it off like this. Normal or expected behavior, if somebody hurt you, if somebody hurt you and somebody comes to rescue you, usually what happens is that you will rally around the person or persons that help you against those who cause you harm, those who are not looking out for your best interest. That's normal behavior. That's normal behavior. Just like, even though it's really not true, it's normal behavior that we would have some kind of love for Abraham Lincoln because we was told that Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. It's true, but then it's not true. But he's a benefactor. So it's natural, and it should be expected that you are in a bad situation like slavery. You give props and honor, and you want to rally around Abraham Lincoln. Okay. It is abnormal to love your enemies, contrary to the Bible. I very much doubt that the people of Ukraine, we are at war. The United States is in the war. They're just not participating militarily, but they are participating in a war in Ukraine. I can guarantee you the people of Ukraine have no love for Russia. Vladimir Putin, whatever his name is. He said Putin, poop. I can guarantee you that. That is abnormal behavior. Now, I'm very sure there are some people in Ukraine that probably do have some kind of love for Russia, Mr. Putin or whatever. It is abnormal to love your enemies. It's abnormal to want to love those who hurt you or bring you some kind of harm, or those who exploit you for their own benefit. That's abnormal to love somebody that's up to no good, that don't want to do good by you. I think I'm beginning to understand what has happened to the black woman, y'all soul sisters, you women in this nation. Because, quite honestly, I'm not trying to build myself up. Angel snubbed up 7. I should have thousands and thousands, if not millions of women, soul sisters, rallying behind, supporting your brother in order to help take us to the level or to the place where we need to be in this country. You should be backing the brothers who back you. But you don't. You actually back the men who give you a back seat, who tell you don't speak unless spoken to, who don't see you as an equal. To see you, they view you as some kind of tool. They don't even, some of them don't even view you as a human being. So I've come to the conclusion that the black woman in America, soul sisters in America, I've come to the conclusion, because it was told to us, and some of you agree, about we as a people. Of course, we're not a people. We are a people by default. We've never been a people. We just a group of folks in a similar circumstance. We're not a people. Black Americans is not a people. Black people, it's not a people just by default, simply because we are all in this category. We're not a people. It has never happened. We've never been unified. Oh, he's causing division. How can you cause division to those who have never been together? We've never been together. Our ancestors was not together on the slave plantation, and they have not been together once they left. That was not a concern of theirs. We are a people by default. It's a facade. We're not a people. Because if we were a people, we would be doing much better. We're not doing much better because we're not unified as a people. We can't even agree on what is our identity. Because if I call you a black American, I ain't no black American. I'm a black Moor. I'm a Muslim. You can't even, I'm an African. I'm a Native American. You can't even agree on what your identity is. So how the hell are you going to be a people? You're not a people. Just some pharaoh slaves wandering the land, going wherever the wind blows. You ain't this, you ain't that. You don't know what the hell you are. But I can conclude and come to this conclusion via my observation. It seems as though, as a people, there was a term called post-traumatic slave disorder. And they say that's what we as a people suffer from, post-traumatic slave disorder. When you can love those who cause you harm. There's something called Stockholm syndrome. It's the same thing. You fall in love with the ones, and you support the ones that cause you harm. One of the most famous cases in this country was the kidnapping of an heiress to a great newspaper, Patty Hearst. She was kidnapped. Next thing you know, she's helping the people rob banks and commit crime. She fell in love with her oppressors. She was a kidnapping victim, and she messed around and fell in love with them, and she began to commit crimes and became part of their criminal activity. And she was a victim. So here we are, we have the black woman. Not only have you been victimized in slavery, but your man, these men, your male, your sons, your fathers, your uncles, they turn right around and they join the oppressor and view you as an inferior. They view you as less than a woman. Don't even view you as human. Yet you love them and you support them. You are not an inferior. I don't care what they say out of their mouth. You're not an inferior in their religion. Everything about religion is about the men. You are second. Your role is second. You are an inferior. And you support this. You don't mind standing behind your man, being second or third or fourth. Because the religion that was written by men, not by God, these religions, all of them, was not written by no God. All of them were written by men. So since men wrote the Holy Bible and the Quran, they write it in a manner so it can give men advantage, and you are an inferior. Then we have those who say, and they use the ancestors as justification for having you as an inferior. Well, you know, our ancestors practiced polygamy. What ancestors are you talking about? Name some names. Be specific. But they always just say, well, you know, the ancestors practiced polygamy. And in these polygamy relationships, the question is raised, what is your benefit? What do women get out of it? What is your real role? Well, the ancestors done it. They always talking about like the ancestors, everything people in the past, everything they did was great. Everything they did was correct. Well, let me tell you something about the ancestors. Some of these ancestors practice human sacrifice. So I assume that you are out here looking for somebody to sacrifice to your God, human sacrifice. And they believe in taking the heart out their victim. They believe in sacrificing virgins. It's hard to find a virgin these days, you know. That's going to be a hard human sacrifice. Take the heart out. They believe you can eat body parts and get spiritual strength. Do you believe in that too? The ancestors? Some of these people, these Africans, whatever, they believe back in the day, they said that if you rape an infant, that will cure you of AIDS. You believe that too? Some of these people, ancestors, they drink blood. You think that everything that the ancient ancestors, these people prior to ourselves done was right. The reality is ancient people were ignorant. They were spookified. They did not understand life. And they practiced patriarchal society or civilization where they uplift the man and the woman was on an inferior level. Ancestors were ignorant and illiterate. Well, what about the pyramid? That don't mean anything. They still practice male domination. They still did not practice and do right by women or the poor. They had class systems. If you was a woman, you are an inferior. If you poor, you're in bad shape. If you're a woman, you're in bad shape. The only one in these societies, not only in America or around the earth, you have to be a man. You have to be a male. And then once you get past gender and class, it's about race. You want to get it and make it in the world, you got to be a white man. We are the superior man. Then come the Chinese, then here come the Indians. And guess who on the bottom? So these black men really want you on the bottom, sister, so they can feel good about themselves. That's the reality of it. That's the reason why they want polygamy. That's the reason why they want to keep you in that position so they can feel like a man, because among men, they know they're on the bottom of the barrel.